In 3, 2, 1. Hey guys, what's going on? And as always, my name is Mr. Shank, and in today's video, what we're going to do is demonstrate, showcase the electric chainsaw sharpener. So, with that said, let's get into the video. Alright guys, before we start this video, I just want to ask you guys, to make sure you guys go down, make sure you guys thumbs up this video. It helps out the channel, it helps me out. Also, if you guys really like these videos, make sure you guys go down, make sure you guys subscribe, hit that little bell notification so you guys can always keep up to date with all my newest videos. So, with that out of the way, let's move on with this video. Alright guys, so now what we're going to do is we first got to mount this. Now we're going to have to mount it to a platform that it can't move. Alright guys, so now that we're going to get started, what we need to do is we need to mount this to some sort of stable surface so it can't move. Now, if you guys can see right down underneath here, both these right here, this is where your screws are going to go. So you can either mount it to like a table, or what I'm going to do is I'm going to mount it to a block and then put it in my vise. Alright guys, so now we've got you on the GoPro. We're also going to show you the way to connect to the block. Alright guys, so now that we're going to get everything set up, what we're going to do is we've got to connect it to our block, which I've already got the stick of wood inside the vise. So this is the block of wood that I'm going to use right here. So what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to set this on here, just like that, okay? And as you guys can see, it holds tight, it holds steady. So what we need to do now is we've got to get some screws. Where are the screws? I found them. Bang, some screws. Ah, fantastic. The screws are small enough so they won't really be effective. Alright guys, so what we did is we couldn't find any washers. Now I don't know where my washers are going off to, but what I do have is I have these little bolts, right? They're just little regular bolts. I think they're probably 3/8. And what I'm going to end up doing is I'm actually going to try to widen out the head of the screw. And I'm going to take the bolt side there, and hopefully that will widen out the head of that screw. So when I go to set it down on top of, or actually go and mount it to, just so you guys can see, check that out. And as you guys can see right there, it actually works. It's big enough to make sure that screw can't go down through that hole. So, okay, so now we're going to have to get the drill and we're going to have to put some screws through this. Yeah, man. Alright guys, so we ended up getting the impact. We're going to use this impact instead of this. We went out and we got ourselves our impact. So, let's get our screw. You guys can see right here, and let's pivot this a little bit so you guys can see it. Okay. This one, okay. So let's start off with this side. Now this is a little bit longer. Ooh, I guess we won't be able to use that. Man, that thing is like way too long. So we're gonna have to go to this bit because that one is incredibly longer. It won't be once it gets set in there. So, as you guys can see now, since it's set in there, it's considerably shorter. So, anyway, let's get these screws set in here. So, let's take this one. We'll set this right in here. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Okay. So, now, let's get our next screw. Okay. Alright guys, so now as you guys can see, we've got it already mounted down, so it's nice and tight, and it shouldn't move anywhere, okay? Just like that. So, this is what we're looking at, okay? Right here, as you guys can tell. Now, this is the hand brake, which is set up just like a bicycle kind of brake, with the little things that come down at the tires. Well, this is the same idea. What you do is you squeeze this little part, after it comes down this cord, this little part will tighten up onto the chain, okay? Have like a little stopper, so when you come down, it won't cut into the chain, okay? Now let's see if you guys can see it. See, like right up back in there, just like that, you can see that this is the point where it hits, so it keeps the cutting wheel from cutting into the chain. All right, so these little knobs here, are the ones that are going to advance the chain forwards and advance the chain backwards, is like a stopping mechanism, okay? So once that slides through, which we have the chain, once that slides through, the chain will come back onto it, and that way it will keep that from wanting to slide backwards after you tighten this, squeeze the trigger and tighten it onto the chain. All right, guys, so this is the chain that we're going to work on right here. Now, this chain is made for a 20-inch blade. It came off an older style Husqvarna, which was a 272. Now, in here in the background, you can see that I've got my 555 right here in the background. So what you end up doing is you're going to take this chain. I'm trying to do it with one hand, and it is not easy. There we go. Okay. I think I got it in there backwards. All right, guys, so now that we've got our chain in here, as you can see, these little knobs advance it forwards and back. We'll lock down onto the chain, and that way you can come right in, sharpen up the edge of your chain. All right, guys, so now that we've got it locked in, we've got it put in, right here, as you guys can see right here. Now, like I said, this is your backstop. So if you roll that back, as you can see, it will pop this back, but it won't allow the chain to move back, okay? It'll be nice and firm. The other thing we got to do is we got to lock that vise in so that vise won't move. All right, now what you want to do is as you come in, okay, you hearing that little scrape? Okay, so you want it to be just that little itty bitty scrape as you guys get in there. Now remember, safety is always of the highest priority, so we don't really want to be doing anything such as this without some sort of eye protection. So as you guys can see, I've got my eye protection on. Now on the back side, you have your off and on switch, right? Okay, that turns the blade on just like that and off. Now, like I said, this is your depth guide, okay? This is going to determine how far down this will go. Now, you want to make sure you set that, because if you don't, this cutting edge will cut right into the chain, and that's not going to do you any good. Okay, and just like that, there's one. Oh yeah, you can easily feel how sharp that is. So now, we're going to go and we're going to skip this tooth because it's in a different degree. We're going to go up with the same side tooth, right? So once you start there, I forgot to remind you, is before we make our first grind, we have to mark our tooth. All right? That way we know where we're starting and where we're going to end. Guys, so that's pretty much going to do it for me. Hopefully you guys really enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you guys go down and give it a big thumbs up. That way it helps me to understand what you guys really like. It helps out the channel, helps me out. The other thing is, if you guys would like to stay up to date on all my new videos that are coming out, make sure you guys go down, hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell notification, and that will keep you up to date to all my new videos. So, with that said, I hope you guys are safe. Make sure you guys take care of one another. And always, I can't wait to see you guys in the next video. All right? Bye.